Greetings, everybody. I hope this video finds you well. Well, guess what? You're never gonna guess. I have the secret to practicing. That's right. I figured out the secret to successfully practice your music. You want to hear it? Okay, I'll tell you. There's a lot of people out there who will claim that you can master the guitar in 7 days with just my technique for a price of $179.99. You can master the guitar in 10 days for a Patreon subscription of $20 a month, or whatever it is, premium tier subscription. But here's the thing, and here's the truth about it, the real secret to practicing. Now, first, let me preface this with a little story, so bear with me. A few weeks ago, I woke up early on a Saturday morning, much in the same way as the video that I made where I went to the Guitar Center in Brooklyn. And I woke up, sun was out, and I started reminiscing about old times. And specifically, for me, it was the late 90s, mid-90s, late 90s, early 2000s. Because those were like my teen years. And I played in a band, and we loved like Operation Ivy and Sublime and all those punk ska bands, Rancid. We loved all the Epitaph and Fat Records bands, and we went to a lot of the early Warped tours, and we saw a lot of those bands. And we also liked ska music, which back then I guess would be considered third wave, where it was a lot of ska, but it was also punk infused. So we loved, Real Big Fish, Catch-22, Less Than Jake, Skank and Pickle, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, Big D and the Kids Table, like the list goes on and on, right? What a great time for music. It was just such a nice, people parody ska a lot, but it was socially aware, it was danceable, it was very memorable hooks, very socially conscious. It was great. And, so I started thinking about those days, and before I even had anything to eat, I came over here to my computer and I looked up Rancid 1996 Pink Pop Festival on YouTube, and I watched their whole performance. But more than that, I plugged this into this interface that this phone is sitting on right now, and I played along with the whole concert. They already have two guitars, right? So I was like either doubling what they were doing, right? Journey to the End of the East Bay. And sometimes I would just try to figure out another part to play that went along with what those two guys were doing, Lars and Tim. And I just played through the whole concert before I even realized what happened. And I just thought, wow. And the sun was still not out yet. And I'm like, wow, that was so much fun. And then I started thinking about other types of music, right? And other music of, my youth, so to speak. And another cool ska band, which are, more in the comedic range, but the Aquabats, And I looked up their second album, which is called The Fury of the Aquabats. And I listened to Red Sweater, key of A major, and then it goes 1, minor 3, right? So that's C sharp minor, 4, 5, D, E, A, C sharp minor, D, E. That's most of the song, not all of it, but it's like. Oops. And then the horn line. Wow, what a cool horn line. And I just started I was learning it as I went. And again, it was great. And I played along with most of that album. And then later, it was like, Black Sabbath. I was like, okay, what else can I play? Oh, I feel like learning a new Black Sabbath record. So I put on Master of Reality, and I learned, a bunch of riffs from there. Same thing. soloing along in the key of A minor pentatonic, right? And so you see how it went on, and eventually it culminated in me just like pouring over the 2 albums of Magic Sam, who is like, gritty, hardcore blues guy. His 2 albums, West Side Groove, I think it is his first one, and the second one's called Black Magic. Great stuff if you want to learn real blues guitar. He's up there with like Buddy Guy and Otis Rush and stuff. It's just that, he didn't live very long. But anyway, so I'm like copping licks and I'm learning them in like all the keys, I'm doing that whole thing. Before I knew it, I took breaks to eat and use the restroom and things. But I played for like 9 hours. And before I knew it, my fingers were ground beef, man. Like, it was just, and I don't remember the last time I had done that. And it was like time just went like that. And I had so much fun. And then I sat in my chair, with a little tea, and I'm like reminiscing about the day. It's very much, bear with me, I'm a naturalist too. So it's like I started at the trailhead, which, if you don't know what the trailhead is, that's the entrance into the woods. And that's when I had my guitar, right? So I'm at the trailhead and I enter the woods. So I start practicing, and I'm looking around, checking out my environment and feeling the air on my skin. Oh, what's under this rock? I check out, there's a little grass spider underneath the rock, you know what I mean? Oh, there's berries. There's some mushrooms you can forage. There's the unmistakable squawk of the blue jay, Oh, I hear a stream. Let's see if there's any frogs or anything down there. A toad, perhaps. I can grab them and say hello to Mr. Toad. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you see a bear. But that's practicing. But that's the key. It's freedom. How many times have you been practicing for somebody else or something else that you just don't want to do? I know we're in this, look, I don't have to take every gig on earth anymore, thankfully. I'm in a position where I could do musical things, and I thankfully don't have to, I've got a full-time teaching job, but I used to take like every gig I could get, because, even if it's like a $75 gig, it's like an hour and a half for $75. Man, God, but I got to pay my phone bill, right? So it's either that or you stay home and don't get paid anything. So what are you going to do? You're just going to have your electricity shut off because you don't want to play Misty again? You know what I'm saying? So you get the idea. However, what gets you through those times is your attitude, and finding even freedom in those moments where you might forget about your gratitude, right? Look at what you're doing. This used to be a piece of wood, and you got your metal parts that were forged in your plastic that was molded, and now it's this piece of art in your hands that you can use to express yourself freely. So even if you do have to play in a cover band and you have to play that song for the 50,000th time, well, guess what? Play it in a way that's interesting again. Figure it out. The sky's the limit, If it's a situation where you just simply cannot do it, like maybe the band leader insists that you play it exactly like the record every time and you're just not into it, just find a different situation as fast as you can, because your life clock is too short, dude. Like, just saying. That's, total cliche. I get it. It's like, oh, the sand on the hourglass is running low, but truer words cannot be spoken. We're very limited in our time here. If you're not having fun and you don't feel freedom doing it, don't do it. Break the shackles of your mind when you practice and just figure it out. Explore the woods. Let the moment take you where it's supposed to take you, okay? And the way will be shown to you. Music and the practice of reveals about life everything that you could possibly want to know. But you gotta listen. And I think for that you have to have a calm mind. And to have a calm mind, you must feel free and you must feel comfortable. Because then you'll feel relaxed, you will feel happy, And at least if you feel a little bit of anger while you're practicing, you know, because sometimes when I play, I have these associations in my mind, and it's a way of channeling certain emotions into your playing, right? We're expressing these things all the time, but at least if I'm just like calm and, you know, relaxed, I can accept what happens to me in the moment. I can accept the squawk of the blue jay or the rustling of a bear in the trees trying to find some food, and the you know, the grass spider under the rock. And I can just accept it as it happens. That's freedom. And that's the key to practicing. So music school will do this too. Oftentimes, you know, I know for me, I felt really burnt out when I was getting my undergrad in music, because oftentimes you have to practice stuff and it takes a long time. Like music just takes a long, long time. So always, no matter what you're doing, try to find that bit of gratitude for what you're doing and come up with some mantra for yourself. I mean, you could say something like, I am a human being and I'm artistic and I'm expressing myself, and I'm not doing a good job of coming up with a mantra for you right now. But come up with one for yourself, you know? Like, I am an artist, or I am free. That's a good one. I am free, because freedom is the key. And I hope you got something out of this.